Should the wearing of a face mask be compulsory? Well, in this video I'm going to be speaking on 3 points regarding this topic. Let's start this journey now. If this is the first time we're meeting, I'm David and welcome to my channel, The Legal Journey, where I speak about lifestyle and law. Hear this. Health organizations, health officials, they are recommending that we wear face masks during this period. This carries me to my first point. What are the advantages of wearing face masks? Whenever we breathe, these respiratory particles, they travel. So imagine when a person talks, coughs or sneezes, these particles will travel further and faster. Like this. So I am sure that we all have that one friend or family member who is quite expressive in speech. So whenever they speak, these particles will go here and there and everywhere. And this is one of the major advantages of actually wearing a face mask. It limits how far and how fast these particles will travel. So if you have that friend who is quite expressive and when they speak, I would suggest that you tell your friend, wear a face mask, wear a face mask. So doctors are saying that one of the ways of contracting this virus is if the virus is on your hands and then you place your hands by your mouth, your nose or your eyes. So one of the reasons why masks they are worn is to prevent you from actually touching or restrict you from touching your face. And as such, it now reduces the possibility of you getting the virus. And then imagine those persons who would be coughing and sneezing and doing that into their hands and then using their hands and wiping it on their clothing or holding a neck surface. As such, spreading the virus consciously or unconsciously. Another reason why a person may wear a mask is because in their context, it is difficult to practice social distancing. So for example, you may be traveling in a vehicle or you may be walking on the streets that's quite crowded, so persons decide to wear their mask. And those are some of the advantages that countries around the world they've considered when introducing laws to make the wearing of masks compulsory or mandatory. So for example, there are places like Singapore or Kenya where you must wear a mask if you're going to a business place or even if you're traveling. And failure to do that, you may be fined, you may be imprisoned, or you may even have your work permit taken away from you. Now, it must be understood as well that wearing a mask is just one measure of actually preventing the spread of this virus. It must be combined with washing of hands frequently as well as social distancing. And if possible, avoid going out and stay home as much as you can. There are some disadvantages in wearing a mask. There are those persons who believe that they can't contract the virus if they wear a mask, if they become invisible. As you know that the virus can also be contracted through your eyes, as well as wearing a mask is really a measure to limit the spread of the virus from one person to the next. In addition to that, there are those persons who are arguing that there's going to be a shortage of the N95 mask. It is understood, even the World Health Organization and other officials, they are saying that these N95 masks should be used for medical practitioners and other persons, they use cloth masks. Which leads to the next argument against the wearing of masks. There are those persons who aren't wearing proper masks. I've actually seen where there are those persons who have very thin, very thin material as their mask, and you can see that once a person coughs, those respiratory particles will be coming out in any event. In addition to that, there are those persons who don't wash their masks as often as they should. And in addition to that, there are those persons who would lend their masks to other persons. And personally, I believe this is more like a underpants or underwear, and you may not want to be sharing, especially on a used one, with someone else. In addition, there are those persons who are arguing that wearing a mask will lead to the increase in crime because of identification issues regarding not being able to see persons if a crime is to be committed. In addition, there are also persons who are not wearing their mask properly. So you would have your mask here, or you would have your mask here, or you would have your mask here, and other reasons. And in addition to that, there are those persons who may not put their mask properly whenever they aren't using it. So they would do this, they would play with their mask and so on, and as such leading to the possibility of the virus spreading even further. So there are some disadvantages in wearing a mask. Earlier I mentioned that in some countries it has become mandatory for persons to wear masks whenever going into the public. Now personally, I believe that persons should be reasonable and responsible in wearing your mask whenever you're going in public to protect others. Now if it is that persons do not act responsibly and are unreasonable, then there will be the need for governments to introduce laws to make the wearing of masks mandatory. So hear this. I want to hear from you. If it is that someone is to come to your face and cough in your face and they don't have a mask on, what would you do? Just leave it in the comments below. I really enjoy reading your comments. They really bring some great insights. Leave your comments downstairs and let me know what you think. As well as if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe and you get all of my videos as I post them on a weekly basis. Now I want to just make sure that I leave with you guys how to wear a mask. At least what I've seen and what I've heard and what I've learned. So I understand that you place the mask on like this and you don't touch the front part and you leave your mask like this. Yeah, what do you think? Fashion 2020, yeah? So leave your comments, subscribe and tell me what you would do if someone coughs in your face.